This video will give you some quick insight into what proficiency-based personalized learning by learning objective and FST will be this year. The classroom is made up of many flex learning spaces. Individual desks have been brought together in groups of 3 or 4 for whole group class instruction. There's various collaborative spaces, some with dining tables and 4 chairs, some high-top tables with bar stools, and other groups of 2. There are also individual spaces where students can get comfortable and work. There's lap desks, comfy chairs, and a large beanbag. At the beginning of the course, students will identify their learning style to help them better learn. They'll be designated either auditory, visual, or tactile. At the beginning of every chapter, students will be given a packet, which includes the blank note template and all of the homework for the chapter. They will then reference the Schoology website, in which they will use the resources here to do the majority of their learning. The curriculum for every chapter is set up in a very similar fashion. Students will first assess what they know by taking a pre-quiz by learning objective. If they get a learning objective correct in the pre-quiz, then they do not have to take notes or do the daily homework for that individual objective. However, if they were not proficient on a learning objective, then they will go ahead and do their learning by taking their notes and doing their daily work. Once they're done with their formal learning, they will take the formal quiz, which is again by learning objective and very similar to the pre-quiz. If there are any learning objectives they did not achieve in the formal quiz, they are allowed to do one retake for the learning objectives missed. This process is then repeated for the various sections that need to be covered. At the end of the unit, they will do some review and prepare for their chapter test. For any learning objectives students were not proficient on in the pre-quiz, they will then start their formal learning. They have 3 options for taking notes. They can either wait for whole group instruction for when the topic comes up, or they can click on a PDF document of the particular section, which will pull up the book notes for them. They would then get their note packet out, read the text accordingly, and complete their notes. Or a third option is they can watch a video by learning objective. If you click on the link, it'll bring you to YouTube, get out your note packet, and complete your notes accordingly. After the notes, you want to do your daily work. You can go into the note packet and see a hard copy of those. After you've done the work, you want to submit your answers on Schoology by going to the green puzzle piece for the learning objective. Schoology will kick back either red or green boxes if you're correct. If you meet a 70% proficiency on that learning objective, then you can move on to the next learning objective. However, if you were not 70% proficient, you will have 2 more opportunities to submit your answers on Schoology. If after those 2 tries you still have not met this proficiency level, seek out the teacher for help, or reference the extra practice found at the end of the book notes, and the solutions for those practice problems are on this PDF document here. Once you've done your 1 level of intervention, seek out the teacher so the homework can be unlocked and resubmitted. All quizzes and tests are retakeable 1 time. If on a formal quiz when you get it returned, you did not get a check mark on a particular objective, you can seek out some additional help to review for this topic by either referencing the extra practice problems or asking the teacher. When you're ready to retake this learning objective, see the teacher to try it 1 more time. Tests are also retakeable once the test has been closed and taken by all students. A link here will be unlocked, which will have the teacher going over the entire test in a video. It is highly recommended you watch this video and also schedule a 1-to-1 meeting to talk with the teacher about your individual concerns in your learning. You have 2 weeks after the test is returned to take your test during school hours. The grading is broken down as 10% formative, which includes all of your daily homework, and at the end of each chapter, a note check on how well your notes were completed. The other 90% is summative, which includes the formal quizzes, the tests, and the projects. Keeping in mind, quizzes and tests are retakeable up to 1 time. At the beginning of every chapter note packet, students will find a proficiency tracker. Students should be using the tracker to indicate when they learned various learning objectives, how they took their notes, and to make any comments they needed as they worked on any intervention to help them learn the material better. This class is designed to help enhance personalized learning, which means if students want to work ahead at any point in time, they are encouraged to do so, but not required. It is highly encouraged students advocate for themselves and ask for help when it is needed. There are many sources to help them in their learning, but they are the first step in a successful process.